The camping trip was finally here, and I was filled with excitement. I had been counting down the days until I could get away from the hustle and bustle of the city and enjoy some time in nature. I gathered all my gear and packed it into my car. I was ready to go, but I still had to pick up a few last-minute items before I could set off. I made a quick run to the store for some food and other supplies, and then I was ready to hit the road. With a final check of my gear, I was off on my adventure. We set off on our journey early in the morning, the sun just beginning to peek over the horizon. As we drove, the scenery changed from the busy streets of the city to the rolling hills of the countryside from the busy streets of the city. Our excitement grew as the miles passed by, and we drew closer to our destination. We stopped for lunch at a roadside diner, where we enjoyed hearty meals and swapped stories about our adventure. After lunch, we continued our journey, eager to reach our destination. The narrow path had led us to a hidden door, and beyond it lay a vast underground river. The river was wide and deep, and the water was as black as night. The walls of the cavern were damp and slippery, and we could barely make out the outlines of the rocks beneath the murky water. We had no idea what lay ahead of us, but we knew that the river was our only way forward. We gathered our courage and ventured into the unknown, hoping that the river would lead us to the treasures of the cave. The underground river leads to a hidden cave filled with ancient treasures. Inside, one can find a vast array of artifacts from the past, including coins, jewelry, and statues. These artifacts are believed to be from an ancient civilization that once lived in the area. The cave is also home to many rare and valuable gems, including rubies, emeralds, and sapphires. The treasures of the cave are a testament to the great wealth and prosperity of the people who once lived here. It is a reminder of the power and beauty of the past, and a reminder of the importance of preserving our history. After a long journey, we finally arrived at the campsite. The sun was setting, casting a warm orange glow over the trees and the lake. We set up our tents and gathered around the campfire, telling stories and singing songs. The stars twinkled in the night sky, and the crickets chirped in the background. We roasted marshmallows and made s'mores, and the smell of burning wood and smoke filled the air. We all fell asleep that night, exhausted from the day's adventures, but excited for the days to come. After setting up camp, the next step was to unpack the gear. We had brought along a variety of items: tents, sleeping bags, cooking supplies, flashlights, and other camping essentials. The goal was to make sure we had everything we needed for our adventure. We took our time organizing everything into neat piles and making sure everything was in its proper place. By the time we finished, we had a neat and orderly campsite ready for us to explore and enjoy. The group was excited to explore the nearby caves, and so the next morning, they set off with all their gear. After a short walk, they arrived at the entrance of the cave. It was a large, gaping hole in the side of the mountain, with a chilly wind blowing out of it. The group looked at each other in awe, before steeling their nerves and entering the cave. They were met with a dark and silent tunnel, with no indication of what lay ahead. Stepping through the entrance of the cave, a chill ran down my spine as I ventured further into the darkness. The tunnel was long and winding, with no end in sight. The walls were damp, and the air was thick with the smell of dampness and decay. I felt my way along the walls, careful to not trip on the loose rocks that littered the ground. The darkness was almost oppressive, and I could feel my heart racing as I made my way further into the unknown. I was determined to find out what secrets this mysterious cave held. As you continue down the dark tunnel, you start to notice an array of rock formations that line the walls. They are tall and pointed, reaching towards the ceiling and the floor, and they cast a strange glow in the darkness. These formations, known as stalactites and stalagmites, have been formed over thousands of years, as water has dripped down the cave walls and slowly built up the minerals. They are a sight to behold, and they make the cave a unique and fascinating place to explore. As you look around, you can't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder. As you continue to walk through the dark tunnel, you begin to notice a faint, eerie glow in the distance. As you approach the source of the light, you can make out the shape of a large, glowing rock embedded in the wall. The light radiates off the rock in all directions, illuminating the cave and creating a strange, mesmerizing atmosphere. You can't help but feel drawn to the mysterious glow, and you stand there in awe, taking in the beauty of the moment. As the explorers continued to explore the cave, they soon noticed a large wooden door in the wall, hidden behind a pile of rocks. It was clearly not a natural formation, and it was obvious that someone had gone to great lengths to conceal it. After a few moments of hesitation, the group decided to open the door, and they were surprised to find a narrow, winding path that led deeper into the cave. The path was dark and silent, and the explorers felt a chill as they made their way along it, unsure of what lay ahead. As they ventured further, they could feel the excitement and anticipation building within them, and they could not help but wonder what secrets the cave held within them. And they could not help but wonder what secrets the cave held. The narrow path was a winding and treacherous route that had to be navigated carefully. It was filled with sharp turns and hidden obstacles that could easily trip up the unwary. The walls of the path were made of solid stone, and the only light came from the occasional torch. The path was so narrow that one had to walk sideways in order to pass through it. As one ventured further down the path, the air grew colder and the darkness seemed to deepen. At the end of the path was a large wooden door, which led to the underground river.
If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from us. We'll be bringing you more exciting stories and videos like this one. See you next time.